What's up, notJust developers? Welcome to the demo day, and this is a very special day because we are finishing two very important projects for the notJust development. Today, we're gonna have the opportunity to look at some demos that have been built throughout the last 3 months, and actually, let's have a look at the schedule that we have for today. So we're going to start with meeting our special guests. We invited some industry experts to help us with questions and advice to the startups, and very thankful that we accepted it. I'm going to break the ice with presenting the application that I managed to build during the last 30 days publicly on YouTube. And then we're going to go into the presentation of the 3 projects that I worked with them during the last 3 months, and now they're ready to publish their application and open their projects to the world. At the end, I also have a very special announcement, so make sure to stay till the end to learn more about that. This is a project that I've been working in secret behind the scenes for the last probably 8 months, and now is the time to share it. And as you can see, I'm very nervous, probably exciting. And I want to start with inviting our special guests. And the first one is Roy, our friend from StepZen. That here we have Roy. Hello, welcome.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be here and excited to see all the applications.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you here helping them because I know you work with a lot of startups. You also wrote a book about React Native. So can you tell us more about yourself and a little introduction?
Yeah, definitely. I think the book is somewhere behind me. But and you have one as well. I think I signed the copy for you when we met. So my name is Roy. I'm a lifelong software developer, author, speaker, and currently I work at IBM after a startup was acquired. And in my free time, I like to meet with developers and see what cool things they are building.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And we're going to see each other in a moment for the questions after the presentations. It's great to have you here. So the next, where is, it should be here. The next special guest is from our team. This is Daniel, the head of marketing, and he's probably joining us from an airport somewhere. Hello, Daniel.
Hey everyone, exactly. My train was delayed. And guys, if your train was delayed at least once, please write it in the comments so we all know that that's a common problem. Yeah, I'm the head of marketing and sales at notJust.Dev, and the last probably 10 years I've been doing marketing. And I'm really excited to see the startups and
Awesome. Thank you very much. What? Yes, let's
ask some questions.
Did you prepare some?
I prepared 8 questions, but I'm going to improvise as well.
Okay, thank you. So what's next? What's next, Daniel? I want to break the ice and start our demo day with the presentation of the application that I managed to build during the last 30 days. And let's try just get into it and do it. So I'm not sure if you actually heard me. I'm still learning these technologies. So allow me to introduce you the Femify, the savings and money goal tracker for your family. First of all, I want to discuss a little bit about the problem, because in the last couple of years, the world had a lot of challenges, starting with pandemic, war, global crisis, and so on. So this led to challenging global economy, which affected the most generation of my age, the Gen Z, millennials, which are in a situation where they cannot afford a lot of things in this economy. Especially when we talk about like homes and so on, this is something that becomes harder and harder to get into. At the same time, when you look at an average Gen Z, this is their starter pack. They're going with the latest iPhones, with all the gadgets, with attending all the concerts. And that led me to think that the problem is not necessarily lack of finances, but more the lack of financial education. And specifically a system in place that will help you achieve your financial goals, especially as a couple. I found this problem myself because now that we are planning to start a family with my future wife, we are planning to get into our first home, and it was a challenging process. It's like chasing our own tail. The market is always growing, and the money is always find different ways to be invested or even spent. So I understood that I actually need a system in place, and we started with a simple drawing board. That's actually in our living room stays right now, and we decided to have a common shared goal, me and Alex, to save towards our first property, and yeah, that's what we started with. But then I was thinking, like, I was looking for some solutions about this. And even though you can find a lot of financial applications, when it comes to financial applications for shared goals, I couldn't find a lot of examples. So me as a developer, what I've done, I use the skills to build something for myself first, and hopefully we will find other users as well. That's what I've done during the Summer Startup Challenge, which was an event on YouTube where I publicly built this application during how many? 8 live streams. So yeah, introducing you the solution to this problem, which is the Femify, the family and couples budgeting application. When it comes to the features, there are a lot of potential features in a financial application, but I decided to be laser focused in order to be able to launch something useful in just 30 days. And I focused on the savings goals because I believe this is what unites couples. So at the moment, what you can do is you can create different savings goals. You can see all of them and track the progress towards them. It gives you a very gamified experience, and seeing the progress bar move, it's really encouraging. You see them every step towards your goal. On the home screen, you can see an overview of the financial situation and how far are you from your goals, or how close are you from the goals. As I said, this application, I mainly built it for myself, but I do believe that there are so many other people out there that are just like us. They are couples and young families in their late 20s, maybe 30s, who are looking to start a family, buy a house, and start savings towards a better financial situation. They're both working, they're financially responsible, have big aspirations, but occasionally they spend some money on nice things, which keeps them back from achieving their goals. This market of financial management applications is a 3.5 billion market. And yeah, it's quite huge. The business model that I'm planning to implement in this application is freemium, where some of the features will be available for free and some of them will be available for a monthly subscription. And based on the research on some other financial applications, a $5 a month subscription is something realistic. And based on some predictions, having 1 million users would generate, having a conversion rate of 1% from freemium to pro, would generate around 50K monthly recurring revenue. And some quick math, I decided that at that point, the application would be valued at 2.4 millions, considering a 4x annual revenue. Milestones. So this is a very young application. We started it on 1st of August. On 15 August, we onboarded 30 beta testers. And today is the public launch of this application. And my next steps is to continue improving it based on customer feedback, get the first 1,000 users, and then add a paywall to be able to test the business model, to understand if there is a business behind this, or if it's going to be an application that me and my wife will use. So the application is already available on App Store and Play Store. You can find it there, or simply go to femify.notjust.dev and you will find the links to the application. That was it. Thank you very much for your attention. And I would like to probably go through some questions if there are any. I hope they managed to do it in time. That was the most challenging thing, to stay on time. Whew, that was the application that I worked on.
So I think maybe we should start from questions from Roy, because they probably would be more technical, and I could add some marketing on top.
Sure.
Yeah, so I wonder, are you doing anything with PSD2, or making any smart connections with your bank to keep track of the saving goals, or is this done manually?
That's a very good question. At this moment, I didn't manage to implement any smart connection with a bank, but this is something that a lot of users, potential users that I talked with, asked me about. Is an automated way to connect with a bank and to see like everything automatically managed. Because if you have to do it manually, nobody was gonna do that. So no, not at this moment, but maybe in future we can add it. And I know like the challenge here is to connect with a lot of banks. Like in order for the application to be useful, you have to implement a lot of connections, and doing it manually, like you have to integrate with a lot of APIs. And I think if I'm going to do that, I'm going to definitely use Tabzen to connect them into one federated API and consume like all the data from different databases or even REST APIs into one single endpoint.
Nice. Yeah, I really like this application. It remembers me when I was young. I remember my mother, she wrote down all the budget for the house and whatever she spent on things on paper. Another question I have, it's not so much technically, but it's probably more, how are you going to make sure you keep adding data to it? And it's not one of those apps that you use once and then in a few weeks' time you will lose track of it and you never look back.
Yeah, that's. I think we will solve that with push notifications. We already have set up some basic push notifications that once a week will encourage you to update your goals. And as I said, like that, the problem is also stays with financial education. Maybe some advice from this part that consistency is the key when it comes to saving. Paying yourself first is also very important. So maybe some automated solutions that would calculate how much you should allocate to each goals based on your income, and to do that as soon as you get money on the account. So that's the plan.
Yeah, makes total sense. And don't forget to treat yourself as well. I mean, saving money is good, but make sure to spend it on nice things as well in the meantime.
Yeah, definitely. You can set up any kind of goals. You can set up like a vacation or a nice dinner or something that you've been wanting, but you are very financial educated and you don't want to spend money there. Just have it as a goal and maybe add from time to time some money there, and all of a sudden you'll see that, hey, we can afford that and it's not going to impact us.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Thank you very much. Very good questions.
And my first question, and I already asked it, Vadim, the actual question about combining banks, because as a user, that's also what I'm looking for. But let me ask you that thing. As far as I understand, you decided to differentiate from similar products by being a couple solution.
Yep.
And are there any other couple solutions already in the market?
When I did like the initial research, going into the financial or budgeting application would be very hard because there are just so much competition out there. And I understood that I have to be very specific to a niche. So that's why I decided to go with this specifically for shared goals for families and couples, because there are no application out there are marketing themselves as a family targeted to families. So here I also plan to take some leads based on App Store search optimization, based on keywords. So yeah, that is the goal.
Okay, and one more question. Actually, two questions. The first one is: have you thought about something that would be something like as a hook or something that will allow you to retain users in your app? For example, when all use Duolingo, it reminds you, or like
Yeah.
something like that. Do you have any ideas in your mind?
I think that's going to be something that we can discuss together later. I have some ideas, but yeah, let's. I'm going to tell you
Okay,
in
yeah.
secret then.
Anyway,
Okay,
let's go further. Your app is great.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, let's move to the next step. And the next step was a little bit different because based on the plan, when we started when we started the summer startup challenge, I said that at the end, 3 projects from our community will have an opportunity to present at the demo day. We hosted the internal demo day, and actually, we received a whopping 0% applications from our from people from YouTube and from our Discord community, which was a bit sad initially, but I realized that there should be a reason behind it. So I asked the community why they didn't submit any projects. Some of them mentioned the uncertainty or lack of confidence, and while they have great potential as developers, they still don't feel ready to start working on a project. There are a lot of developers that being good developers, but they do not know how to do it from zero all the way till the market. Another thing is some of them were overwhelmed by the technical or business challenges and fear of public presentation or exposure. I understand building mobile apps is challenging, and specifically building them for the market for that would also have like a business purpose behind it, because the technical side, the coding side is probably the easiest part, but there is so much more that goes into building a successful application that makes all of this space very overwhelming. Mobile apps are very different than web applications. There are so much nuances on building them, providing a good user experience, launching them on market, on App Store and Google Play, and so on. I realized this challenge from a lot of messages that I received throughout the years, where people with great ideas lacked the technical foundation to build their ideas and put them in practice. And they wrote me to ask me to join their team and help them build the application. And while I really liked some of these projects and I did believe in them, and the person who was asking was someone with very good business background, and my answer was always very short: sorry, I cannot, I have to focus on notJust.Dev. But that led me to think about it. Like the more messages like this I received, the worse I felt saying no to everyone. And I was thinking, what can we do? What can we do to help these developers with great ideas in mind that want to build something on their own? They want to build a mobile application, launch it there, and hopefully make a living out of it. And yeah, I spoiled it. That's what we actually worked for the last 8 months. And I'm happy to announce you the next product, the next thing that we're going to do, the notJust Accelerator. I'm so not stressed, but I'm so excited that it's hard to find words, but we're going to go for it. So everything started with this email. I invited our Academy students to help them launch their ideas. I said, like, I want to work closely with 5 to 8 developers that will launch their mobile startups. And this email was sent to 500 students, 20 applications. We received 20 applications. We did the interviews, and out of 20, we selected 5 projects to work closely with and help them launch their startups. That's how the pilot program started, and it started on 1st of June, and this marks the end of the pilot program. And today, allow me to introduce you the first 3 alumni. These projects we've been working on shoulder on shoulder throughout the last 3 months. We met multiple times a week, and here is the result of all of this work. So, first one who will present today is Ted, and he's the founder of Recap. Ted, where are you and how do you feel? No, we said that not Ted, sorry. Or are you ready? No, we said that Edis is gonna be the first. So, Edis, founder of Foodring. Edis, here you go. How are you doing today?
Excited, but good. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome here. And yeah, let's go into your presentation that you prepared for today. And after that, we're going to have a round of questions. Sounds good?
Great.
Okay, here it is.
Foodring, a community that eats healthy. I'm Edis Omerovic. I'm computer programmer. I'm athlete all my life. I failed in almost every diet. I'm very motivated to stay healthy for my family. I never failed in telling politically incorrect joke. What is the problem? Problem is failing in dieting. Lack of motivation and ideas for new meals eventually leads you to stop dieting and return to old habits. How do we solve this? We solve this by having support group for each other, holding each other accountable in the group, provide new and fresh ideas for the meals, and providing social reward for the ones with success stories. How do we do that? We do that with a product called Foodring. It's a mobile app. It creates a community of like-minded people that stick together with healthy eating, and they share accomplishments via mobile app. We introduced new concept called Ring, which is a virtual community of people who wants to eat the same, who wants to accomplish the same goal. Ring has a leader who posts the new original meals, and Ring has a follower who tries to reproduce that meal in the real time. I'm going to quickly demonstrate how our app looks. We now try to create new Ring, but we won't do that because we want to join one. This is Ring Summertime. Now it looks like this. It only has one meal. We're gonna join him. Yeah, are we sure? Yeah, we are sure. We are joining this Ring, and officially we are a member of this community which wants to be prepared for the summer. Ring author posted one meal with the chicken. Now clicking on the red button, we will reproduce it. And I'm gonna quickly slide forward. We are uploading meal. I won't wait for upload. Unfortunately, there is no chicken rings images on the simulator. Now you see the green button which says meals reproduced, which means our mission is accomplished until the next meal from the Ring author arrives. We just shouldn't eat anything in the meantime. And the app provides more standard features, profile screen with information which ring we have joined and some info about the rings, and etc. Some search for the users and the rings, standard features. Who is our audience? Basically, it's people between 25 and 40 who go to the gym, especially the one who go to the gyms with the group sessions. That means they already have some leader in the gym, and now they need some guidance outside of gym in another part of fitness, which is eating healthy. Market is pretty huge. Globally, 10 trillion for all wellness. In Germany, only 100 billions for the apps about the fitness. It's 5 billion globally, and in Germany, it's 500 million. How do we plan our growth? We basically plan a lot of on-foot, hand-to-hand, hands-on action, going door-to-door, talking to the gym owners and influencers, and health clinics in our area in Munich, and basically a lot of door-to-door activities in sharing our app. Our business model, how we're going to make money, is by subscription, which we offer for the rings with extra features, rings for enterprises, and a lot of marketing potential in affiliation with restaurants and delivery companies. Our competition is huge, but most of them ignore community effect, which we focus on. They rely on science data and doctor's opinion, which we also, of course, we respect also, but we play more on the psychological effect of dining and dieting in the community and the benefits from that. Few companies, Pinto and Virtual Gym, offer something very similar to us, but they still don't focus on the community. The team is only me, because the idea was for me and from me, and I'm computer programmer, and I could implement this. So basically, there was no sense to have anyone else in this early stage. What do I want? I want angel and seed funding. I want any kind of mentorship, advice, introductions, endorsement, basically any heads up which I need in this early stage. Thank you.
I'm here. That was really impressive. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well done. It was a lot of work. I know what went behind into this application. And yeah, actually, I'm one of the potential users as well. I'm doing a lot of kind of dieting. Right now, I'm doing a keto diet. And one of the most challenging things for me is having ideas of what to eat next, because you're very restrictive, like you only can eat meat and some vegetables. So following a couple of people that would provide like these ideas would be something that I would see valuable for me. I wanted to ask you, here there, you have, in a way, a marketplace where there are people who would kind of provide these meals, provide these step-by-step meals, and the ones that will consume them. How do you think you will motivate the producers, the ones who will share what they eat in the day?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Motivation, at first, I'm going to poke them. I'm going to try to initiate them to produce, to make some food content. But later, I believe that there will be motive in such things, that there are certain times of the year or certain times in their careers when they have this period of before some event, before some
Okay,
before
yeah.
summer, before something, where they put a lot of effort in few weeks, and they want to make some social product out of it, and they have some like cumulus of events, cumulus of very dedicated eating and meal plannings, that they think I will try to convince them that that data is lost and they can do something about it. So you have 6 weeks before the summer for some prominent eater, and he just does it and no one knows for it. Maybe he shares it few
Yeah.
times on Instagram and nothing. But if I sell him a story that he can sell it as a streak and it can be something meaningful outside on
Or
the internet.
you can share revenue with him, like from the people that would sign up for to follow him.
Yeah, upon that, first I need to convince him that it's interesting and it's some kind of asset,
Definitely.
that it's fungible, to put
Yeah.
to say, and then upon that we can make some business plan for him. Would be really open to custom plans
Yeah,
at the start.
perfect.
Yeah.
All right, Daniel.
Yeah. At first, very nice presentation, pretty short, and it leaves some questions. So it's very nice. It's kind of hooking. Yeah. So the first question is, you've mentioned some gyms or something, but what are your ideas about actually going into the market, like those first steps? Will you partner with the gyms or maybe some brand ambassadors, or like what are your thoughts about how to actually communicate your potential customers?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Maybe after talking to gyms, which I'm very familiar with, and I know them in my first circles, maybe this is time for me getting some partner or co-founder or someone who knows these things better. I'm definitely open to do any kind of affiliation with anyone who would help growth. That's still left to be planned.
Yeah,
But definitely, I see that on the horizon in plans to grow.
yeah, and let me share like an idea with you. I see a lot of nutritiologists and dietologists, like people who
Yep.
get some education and they want to start working, and maybe you can become that platform for younger professionals in that sphere. It will be like a LinkedIn for them, or like something
Yep.
like that. And the second question is yeah, as a person who have never followed any diets, I will ask you a question, like a little bit procrastinating question. I never can start, and I always see Vadim trying new diets, and I think some diets fit some people and some don't. Have you thought of any health check or any initial kind of check that will allow your app find the better fit for a customer out of all the options? Like, you have any ideas of that?
That
Or
would be that would be a great onboarding experience to ask. Uh,
yeah,
Yeah,
onboarding. Yeah,
yeah. I had a lot of ideas for onboarding, but I also had ideas that there is something like a trial period where you would be asked for each meal, or user would be gradually tested with the meals that would create his profile, and then I I have some idea of skipping this kind of compulsory onboarding, which
yeah.
most of the apps have, where you have to strictly go
yeah,
through them, but more like, was this helpful to you? Would you eat it again? Would you eat next 7 days? Some custom smooth questionnaire which you don't even notice, and then
yeah.
create profile, and then maybe suggest certain users to follow or certain links.
Perfect.
Okay,
Sounds good.
and the last short question.
We have time.
Why pink color in the branding? Why pink, not green, not something about the food?
Uh, I was I was avoiding the common colors. I wanted to. I checked the popular platforms, and I was working on my fingers. Where could I stand that it's not already occupied?
Okay, that's the reason. Okay, yeah, thanks and good luck.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you, Daniel. Roy, do you have any questions or any advice to Edis?
Yes, I was wondering. Very interesting concept, I guess. People are sharing information on Facebook and maybe other social media, but it's just too broad. So it would be good to have something more tailored to what people are looking for. I can imagine if these circles get really active, how do you handle all the data people are uploading? Maybe pictures, maybe like 10 megabyte or 20 megabyte images from iPhones, or videos, maybe even. How are you going to make sure that the application is still performant with all this data coming in?
I'm very grateful for AWS providing cloud fronts for that, and I pretty much in this time I rely on their scaling. So, but yeah, I'm sure there are gonna be problems, and I hope that I will have some team by then, and I hope there will be a problems of a lot of users and a lot of content.
That's a good problem to have. Yeah, actually, that's a
Yeah,
very good
definitely.
question, Roy, because that's exactly one topic that we went very in depth during the Accelerator, specifically about optimizing the applications and specifically images. And out of this, we created like specifically a tutorial for that, how you can do that, processing of images behind the scenes in a serverless solution.
Nice. So you set up your own image server then for the application, or?
It was a pre-made AWS solution, the dynamic image handler that stays in front of a cloud front and either caches the images or using Sharp in a Lambda function will post-process them to optimize the size and then cache it in CloudFront.
Oh, nice. I remember using Sharp like years and years ago. So fun to see.
Yeah,
this.
like the solution is quite simple. Like I have a video about it on YouTube, but because it's pre-made, you just press one click of a button and it spins up. So just knowing that this thing exists is very helpful, because Addis and also Gigi, that will present next, they got very good improvements out of this, like the speed of the image.
Cool. Good to hear. Well, best of luck, Addis.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, best of luck, Addis. Yeah, there is a lot of potential here. And yeah, we're gonna stay in touch to make sure we get to the next level. Okay, thank you very much. And the next one who will present is Gigi. Hello.
Hello. Great
How
to
are
see
you doing?
I'm great and super excited about this presentation.
Excited? Okay, then let's go go right into it.
Let's go. Hello everyone, my name is Gigi Pischitelli and I am the CEO and co-founder of Anti-App, the decentralized evolution of LinkedIn specifically designed for the creative industry. Like many kids, I always wanted to be a famous artist, but my parents tried everything in their power to make me pursue what they call a real career. But why? Is it true that artists struggle, that it's so difficult to make a living? Well, the sad truth is that 83% of UK and 75% of US artists earn less than £10,000 or dollars a year from their art practice. And why is that? With current business models, artists give away up to 100% to platforms and agents. Think about Spotify that pays £4,000 every 1 million plays. And the same agents put a markup of up to 70% to brands. Needless to say that those models are not sustainable anymore. Creators cannot survive anymore. But what if I told you that there is a place where creatives don't have to worry about earning? All they have to worry about is to create incredible art, collaborate, engage with each other, learn and have fun. A place where they get rewarded for their contribution and for their participation. Only there we believe true and truly unique art exists, and brands are truly represented the way they deserve for the right price. This place is called Antil. We are the first decentralized talent network specifically designed for the creative industry. We are on a mission to improve creators' quality of life 1 gig at a time. We connect top creative talents with top brands. At Antil, we give creatives 100% control over their work and revenue streams. We help them to find high-quality jobs, collaborators, and we give them what we call universal contribution income according to their participation within the community. We also help brands to find, hire, and manage top talent. Now everyone has access to the best and most original content tailored for their needs from the best global independent artists without breaking the bank. So here is a little demo of the app. Here is your profile page where you can upload your portfolio, your bio, your social links, but you can also see your posts, your media, your listings, your events, and your job collaboration offers. Then you can go into the Explore tab where you can see a list of users, you can see global jobs, global listings, and global events. That, like any other social platform, we have our news feeds, and on that page you can also find the chat. In the chat, obviously, you can connect and talk to anyone on the platform. On the side menu, you get a bit more info about what we're doing. And then what you can do, you can press on the plus to post an event, listing, and the bounty. Lastly, we have our in-app notification, where obviously when you click on it, you can go directly to whatever notification you've had. The global creative independent workers market makes an annual revenue of £540 billion, and we expect to capture 10% of the UK and US market, which fits our target groups and our cities. Anti-App is the only decentralized talent network for the creative industry designed by creatives for creatives. We launch a web MVP last year to prove the concept, and we had a 20% month-on-month growth from 10 to 150 users within 6 months. They've exchanged over £50,000 in our marketplace, and we were able to establish great partnerships with Middlesex University and Clock Your Skill. We are now in conversation with NBC Universal, Tate Modern, Microsoft, and SAE Institute, the largest creative media university. We have been able to achieve already incredible results thanks to our team of experienced founders with a vast global network of acclaimed artists and creative industry leaders that support us. So how do we make money? We take 10% of all new minted Until tokens. We take 10% commission from providing services. We launch subscriptions and membership models, and we will open our production house. By year 5, we project to reach 2.1 million users and a revenue of £102 million, with a £30 average transaction fee. We are seeking for an investment of £500,000 that will give us 24 months runway. Securing this investment will allow us to develop further Until app and run our marketing campaigns. We believe to have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to revolutionize the creative industry's economy. Let's seize it and change the creators' economy for good.
Great call to action. Let's change it together.
Yes, let's do it.
Such a great presentation, Gigi. Here is the QR code. Where is it leading to?
So at the moment, I'm fighting with Apple Store, but it will be ready hopefully today or tomorrow. I'm going to share in the chat the test flight and the website, just in case you want to understand and know more about what we're doing.
I must say, like, I'm really impressed by the scope of the project that you managed to build in just 3 months, or maybe a little bit more. And yeah, like, it's impressive. Like, it has so many features and all of them are working. Maybe they're not perfect, maybe there are bugs, but they are working and people are already using it. I saw a lot of activity in your application and even some celebrities there. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're lucky enough, as I said in the presentation, I've been working in the creative industry for 25 plus years, first as a musician, then as a producer. And my business partner, Naomi, she's been in the industry as an event manager for the same amount of years. So we have very good connections with not only musicians, but actors and people in the creative industries that are supporting us. And they've agreed to join the beta testing to give us some feedback, and they support us for any future activity that we want to do. So yes.
Awesome. Sounds great. Sounds like a good beginning. I also want to ask you to share a little bit about your story and your relationship with coding. When did you start coding the first time?
In short, we were looking for funding to find a developer to develop the app. And then everything, happens between COVID and so many other things. Funding was almost impossible. So I came about your YouTube channel and I thought, well, I mean, he does one app in 4 hours. I'm sure I can do that.
That's a lie.
So I joined about 4 months ago to your class, and I had basically zero knowledge on React Native and JavaScript.
That was at the beginning of this year, right? Somewhere in April?
1 month, 1 month before the Accelerator. So when was
April,
that? May. And then while I was doing the course, I told you, look, I have this idea and I'm actually doing it. And then you invited me to Accelerator. So essentially, I've built the app in 3 months. From zero to public launch. So I'm stuck, and it's insane.
That is really impressive, especially like knowing how hard like development is, and knowing that I've been coding for probably more than 10 years and I still struggle sometimes. Probably Roy will share this feeling as well. Like, building an application in 3 months with zero experience, it was impressive. And you always tried like all the latest things like Accelerator and that and this. So well done on that part. And I know that that is because of your dedication. You've been working 10, 12 hours a day. You've been to all the meetings. So yeah, like it pays off. Even if you start with no experience, like if you want, you can do it.
Yeah.
I will give the microphone to Roy. Or you wanted to say something?
No, I just wanted to say I am impressed of what I have achieved in such a little time. But I have to say, obviously, I had you in the back. When you hit a wall, there was Vadim to try and solve it and explain what was the problem. So obviously, not sure if I was going to be able to do it by myself completely.
Yeah, it's difficult. I know you were planning to launch it in June or something like that, and I was like, probably it's gonna take a little bit more, but we can do our best.
Yes.
But here we are. The application is launched.
Yeah.
I want to let Roy, if you have any questions for Gigi.
Yeah, definitely. First of all, great application. Thanks for showing it, and great merchandise you're already wearing.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
So I was, of course, wondering the same thing as for the previous application, but I guess, or at least I hope, you learned from each other and shared the knowledge and all the media going back and forth. And funny to see that you're struggling with the App Store. I remember building an iPad app like 10 years ago, and the App Store was terrible.
It's still terrible.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm so sorry to hear.
The complaint they're having is basically they're saying, since you are a content generated app, you need to have a feature to report and block. And I'm like, it's there. Like if you go on any post, comment, anywhere, you can click on the 3 dots and either report or block. And if you block those users and comments and whatever, they disappear from the app. So I just emailed them with screenshots saying, please tell me what do I have to add, because it's there, the feature.
Yeah, the App Store works in mysterious ways. But now I guess the only thing I like to say is, I guess now the fun will really start. I mean, I learned coding by building a project myself, like when I was 14. And I guess once the project is there and you feel happy with it, and then people start to use it, you're actually going to run into maybe performance issues or things that don't work as you expect them to work. So one question I have, and I have a marketplaces background. Is there any particular kind of artist you're focusing on, or are you just going to do all the artists at once?
So when we launched our MVP, we invited just musicians. Think, this is going to be a musicians community, but we gave them the opportunity to invite whoever they wanted within the app. And we quickly discovered that none of them invited other artists. Who they invited was a PR agent, a photographer, a filmmaker, because they needed what they didn't have in their own network. And that's when we started to understand, okay, let's make it as a full creative ecosystem. So whoever works within the creative industry can join, and so they can help each other. So if you see, when you click on edit your profile, you will see all the 16 categories of the creative industry. And I guess the sense of it is, if I'm a musician, I don't need another musician. I need maybe a manager or whatever. And that was given by the MVP. So we'll see in the future if this is still how we're going to proceed, because the idea is that we will build the app from the feedback of the users. It's enough to have app that tell us what to do. I want the users to tell me what do they need.
Yeah, makes total sense. And then the final question I have is, there's these social features in the app as well, like this sort of timeline.
Yeah.
How are you going to make sure that artists don't have to maintain another social media? Is there a way to make connections with existing social media?
So in your profile screen, sorry. Wow, in your profile, my my voice gone. You can add your links. Oh my God, sorry. The voice is gone.
That's okay.
Obviously live. Here is the the beauty of life.
Yes.
So, sorry, it's still gone. But yeah, you can connect to your social media as links now, and then in the future, you can connect through the backend.
To get the post as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Very
what
cool.
an
It's
embarrassing
okay.
moment. Incredible.
It's memorable.
Yes. Every time if I speak too much, boom.
All right. Thank you very much, Roy. Daniel, do you have any questions?
Yeah,
Let's.
pretty fast. Do I get it right that as a, let's say, musician, I can join your app and I can find, let's say, a beat maker there and someone who could help me publish, as well as a brand who might be interested in collabing with me, right?
That is the idea. Obviously, we are in a catch-22 situation, which is we have to grow quite fast, because otherwise, if it's right now it's the 30 people that helped us, we need more people.
Okay, and then the question: will you have any levels or something that will show like those guys are performing nice? They have some stars or some gamification of that process?
Yes, so we will have a ranking score, and the ranking score is based on your on what you do in the app, essentially.
Great, yeah. And as far as I understand, you start with musicians, but you also consider other types of art.
Yeah, right now we have musicians, actors, and promoters and managers.
Great, good luck with your app. I've heard a lot about it from Vadim. So yeah, good luck.
Thank you. I wish to speak more, but for some reason, God decided
Yeah.
that my voice has to go right now. it's very unlikely. Oh man.
Thank you very much, Gigi, for the presentation, and good luck to you with the next phase. Now it's
Thank you so much.
it's just the
So,
beginning.
yeah. Woo.
Yeah, make sure to leave the links in the chat because I see a lot of people saying go and hell.
Oh,
And also
thank
some
you.
links where we can order such as snapbacks as well.
Yes, it's all in the website. I will post again. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And we have one more project, guys. Daniel. Okay. We have one more project, and allow me to introduce you, Tad. Hello, Tad. I'm not sure if I can hear you. You're muted.
How about now? Is that better?
Yes, now it's much
Okay.
better. How are you doing? How are you
Good.
feeling?
How are you?
Excited?
Excited, nervous, everything.
I know it's gonna be good. All right, let's jump into your presentation and see what you've been working on during the Accelerator.
Sounds good. Hello, everyone. My name is Ted, and I'm really excited to talk to you today about a project that I've been working on called Recap. It's a vocabulary building application that uses AI to redefine your vocabulary. If you take nothing else away from this presentation, just know that we generate and regenerate content based on your proficiency and your interest to help you learn languages and vocabulary much faster. So who am I? I'm a database guy. I've been a database backend guy for a number of years, and that's really what drew me into the notJust.Dev program. I speak a number of different languages, so language learning is pretty important to me. And I've also lived in a number of different countries. And I think, that's really also why I built Recap, is because, when you travel to a lot of countries, you live in countries, you're immersed in the languages, and I really wanted to provide that type of feeling for people who are not able to do that and go and travel and live other places to learn the language that they want to learn. On a personal level, I have 4 kids. The oldest is 20 and the youngest is 3, and they've all been homeschooled. And the homeschooling aspect has really influenced the development of the app. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but let's jump in. So what does it do? Recap helps you do 2 things. One is it helps you consume custom content. I think when you're trying to learn languages and trying to learn new vocabulary and really get them to stick, you have to consume as much content as possible. And that's what really Recap is all about, is helping you consume a ton of content. And that content is custom because, again, we learn about your interest and your level of proficiency to make it easier for you to consume a lot of content every day. And second, we help you create more content in your target language, so getting you to think and to speak in your target language, which again is a very important aspect. And not just being able to answer questions, but really formulating sentences about different topics, and that's what Recap is really built to help you do. So why did I build it? I think there's a lot of language learning resources out there, but a lot of them are focused on getting you from level 0 or from basically nowhere to some level of that language, some level of proficiency. And there are not a lot of resources that help you go from a decent amount of proficiency to near fluency. So there's you can go on YouTube and you find millions of videos on how to say introductory phrases in French or Spanish, like how are you or what's your name. But really, again, those are not going to help you get to a level of fluency so that when you go to that country, you're able to really communicate with the people who you want to talk to. There are on the other end of the spectrum, there's apps like Duolingo, which really focus heavily on gamification to get you to practice every day. But there was a recent study that was put out, that analyzed the effects of gamification. And not to say that Duolingo was bad. I mean, I use it myself and we use it in our family. But it's just that, you might be practicing Duolingo every single day to keep that streak. But as soon as you travel to that country, you're not able to really communicate like you thought you should be able to. And this is really what Recap is meant to try to solve that problem. So when I think of Duolingo, it gives you more practice, right? Trying to keep your gaming streak. So you practice every single day, but Recap gives you better practice, right? So like better content that's really going to help you to communicate when you want to in your target language. So when you think about Recap, it's an AI private language tutor. Obviously, the best resource for all of us if we really want to get fluent in that language would be to hire a tutor directly, but that can become very expensive very quickly. But not only that, is that Recap is always available to you. So whether it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 a.m. in the morning and you want 15 minutes of really custom language learning help, then again, an AI private language tutor like Recap is available to you. It also learns about you, so the more that you use it, it understands what words you know and you don't know, understands what verb tenses you know and you don't know, and it really helps to reinforce the words that you're struggling with. And it's really built to be used every day. A lot of us might read news articles and about technology or health or finance, and so Recap is really about taking all of those different sources that you would normally read, and then just allowing you to read them in your target language. By removing as many blockers as possible. And lastly, it's about unstructured learning. So I talked a little bit about homeschooling, and the thing I think about with unstructured learning is that there's a big movement in homeschooling world called unschooling, or really where there's just like no structure whatsoever. And not to say that one method is better than the other, and that's definitely not what we did with our kids, but I think there's a place for both of them, right? Like you can have a very, very structured language course or learning course with like rote memorization and workbooks, but there really needs to be a balance with kind of this unstructured or unschooling methodologies that just say, here, just read this, and I'm going to give you as much help as you need in order to get through these articles. And that system has worked really well for us. I think it's one of the reasons why I think it's really been an inspiration for the app. Of our 4 kids, the oldest 2 are off to some pretty great schools by using this mixture of structured and unstructured learning. And I think that it's going to show in the app itself and help you and users get to acquire languages and vocabulary much, much faster. So with that, I'll cut over to a demo. And so when you first open up Recap, you see it's just like a newsreader app, any standard newsreader app that you would see a bunch of article titles that we gather from around the world. You go into the settings page and you can change your target languages. So here you've selected like Spanish and French, for example. If you're earlier in your language learning journey, you can also show title translations. Again, if you don't necessarily know what those articles are about, so you can see those article titles translated into your native language. Once you find an article that you like, though, you can click on it, and then it's going to generate that article. So initially, when you first start, obviously it doesn't know much about you, but as you continue to use the app more and more, then you'll see that it's really specific to the words that you know, and makes it a lot easier for you to consume those articles. So each sentence is shown, the article is shown sentence by sentence, so you can swipe up and down to navigate through the article. And the idea is to identify where you need some help. So here you can click on a word and click on the regen button, and the AI is basically going to try to regenerate that sentence without that word. So finding a word to replace it. If you still don't understand the sentence, you can pull up on the explain tab, and that's going to give you kind of like an explain like I'm five version of that sentence in the target language, again, which is like the most immersive way to learn, not by translating it directly, but really to be as familiar as you can with how the language is spoken and how explanations are given in that target language. If you need it.
Let's continue with some questions. First of all, thank you very much, Ted, for the presentation. I think you covered really well like the main features of the application, and through the questions we can get the insights that we need. First of all, I want to say that it's a really great application because I'm also a target audience for it. I'm learning Spanish at the moment. I'm on more than 500 days streak on Duolingo, and at the same time, I cannot have like a very small basic conversation. And when I think back of how I actually got to speaking easier in English, because English is also my second language, is the moment when I started reading the moment when I started reading books in English. So the reading process, I think, is a very good methodology to get to learn something. And especially with engaging content that you provide, like articles and so on, I think this is a great combination for people to get started. I want to ask you, who is the main target audience? For example, I tried it and I think I myself am not probably ready for the application at this moment. I think my Spanish is not that good, so a lot of things are guessing. But at the same time, I remember that it was the same with English, like when reading English, when learning it. So how do you see like the early adopters?
Yeah, I think that, like as you mentioned, I think it's someone who has some understanding of the language, like just some of the basic stuff. And again, on my end too, there's some tweaks that I want to do to the app to make it more kind of open to people who are earlier in their language learning process. Like right now, it's really targeted at people who want to get to fluency, but I think through the addition of additional prompts and tweaking of the prompts, then I can open it up to even more potential, bigger audience pool.
Okay, that's great. And what from the technical perspective, I'm interested. Like, what are you using behind the scenes to generate the articles?
Yeah, so it uses a ChatGPT API behind the scenes. So it's a Python containerized app running fast API.
So all the articles are generated, yeah?
Everything is custom. Yeah, all the explanations, all the articles, the definitions, everything is custom to the user.
That's a really great use of AI and language models.
Thanks.
Who would like to go next? Roy?
I have a question around the localization in the app. I can imagine it's hard to make sure the app is always displaying content in the same language and is also synced with what the user's phone has set up in the... Did you face any issues there with handling this localization, making sure that what the user put in your app is similar to what they have as a default in the phone and the other way around?
So right now, I've installed Expo localization. I haven't started using it yet. So users can specify their native language. And then in the app, when they specify their native language, that's the definition and the explanations will be put into that. But as far as like localizing kind of the instructions as well, everything is just in English at the moment. I think over time, I'll start to leverage the Expo localization library to make sure that it's synced with the user's location.
Yeah, that would be great. I think it adds that additional thing. I mean, if you are learning Spanish and suddenly all your applications are in Spanish, it's probably just that one extra thing that, at least myself, every time I go to a new country, I try to use the cash machines in the native language. And
that's
maybe not the best thing to do because before you know, your bank account is drained. But I always try to find out my own way and using the
that's very useful, like integrating it into the daily things that you're doing.
But yeah, and like beside that, great use of AI. I think we're already seeing more and more AI generated content than we know. I even saw news websites being completely filled with AI generated content without people even knowing.
Yep,
Yeah, for sure.
it happens. All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, and I was really interested by like your story. I was listening to it so much that I actually didn't write a lot of questions down, but I really like an example of your kids. It's very straight to the point, and then you're just showing an app, and I think that's what like I personally needed, like pretty clean explanations. But I want, as a Duolingo user, I want to ask you one thing. I really miss some notes or rules or something. Like after I do all the exercises, I have no idea why did I put that letter here and another letter in another example. I think you also mentioned something about that balance. So, will you have that that extra content that will allow me just to read and double check what have I just done or whatever I just read?
I mean, honestly, like the possibilities are endless with AI, right? Like I've been looking for different APIs. Like if there's a Duolingo API where you can log in and I can get like where you're at in your Duolingo journey, and then I can import it into the app, and then I can give more explanations and make the content more relevant to what you've already learned. So there's no official Duolingo API, but like maybe we'll explore more options like that down the line with maybe some other language learning apps. And but yeah, I totally understand what you're saying, and I think with just large language models, like it's just so many possibilities. I just need more data, basically.
Yeah, great. And one more thing. For some reasons, I really want to see it as a plugin in some news. For instance, I've been visiting Vadim and Tenerife recently, and like the fire started there. And Alex, Vadim's future wife, was sending us some articles, and I could not understand anything except anything.
Yeah.
And I would really want. I used to study Spanish at school, at university, and I would really love to use that app by trying to understand, like, if I'm gonna be burned tonight or not. Like, have you thought of that plugin way to the consumer, or maybe you've already tried it, you consider it doesn't worth it, or just give me a comment.
Yeah, I think it's possible. Like the way I've structured the Fast API, the backend, I can probably plug that into a Chrome extension pretty easily, and then just like whatever new sites are on, I can just help users basically consume it. So I think definitely possible in the future once I get the app, get everything done with the app, and moving on forward. I think the only last thing I'll just add, I don't know how much time we have left, but like it's available on test flight now, so if anyone wants to try it out, just go to recap.co and you can put your information in there, and I'll send a link to the test flight.
Okay, thank you very much. Don't forget to put some links in the description, and good luck with the application. It has a lot of potential, and I'm actually looking forward to use it and to get better at Spanish with it. So I'm gonna send you a lot of feedback. Okay, thank you very much. And that was the 3 projects that were built during the pilot version of the notJust Accelerator. So this marks the end of a new beginning. This is what Alex told me in the morning, and I think this is very well said, because we worked so much towards this, and the pilot has finally finished, and we are ready to prepare for the next phase, for what's coming next. During the pilot program, our whole goal was to try to understand what are the biggest challenges that startups face in order to build and launch the application on market, and where me and notJust development can help startups with this process. And we managed to publish 3 applications out of 5. I think that's a very good result for the first batch. And I really want to ask our participants one question. So if you don't mind, can I bring you here? And this is not planned, and sorry for putting you on spot here, but can you please share, like with everyone else, what was the biggest takeaway out of the last 3 months for yourself and for the application? Don't be shy, guys. Gigi, you are
Yeah,
muted.
I was muted. Sorry, I was just
Yeah.
starting to reply to some people that watch the presentations.
A lot of people interested?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I'm super happy. Sorry about my voice before. I don't know
No worries.
the beauty of live performance, but yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think was the biggest takeaway for yourself from the last 3 months?
I think, to be honest, even though we're not us three, we're not working on the same app, but it felt like being part of a team, and we could, talk to each other about the problems we've had, and obviously the frustration that when something doesn't work, and share the happiness of when something works. So I think that's the main thing for me, being part of a community and part of something together.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, when it's not only you that are going through struggles, when you see others, it's a bit easier, right?
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, I've doubled down on that as well. Like, we definitely felt like a team, even though we're all doing different products. But also just being able to get unstuck with Vadim's help, right? Like, be able to meet with him whenever we came up with a pretty big blocker. A lot of times, if it was not him directly, it was probably one of his videos that we'd find on YouTube that would help us solve the problem, from like deploying the app or a revenue cat issue that I had. So I think I would say Vadim, you've been an amazing resource to all of us throughout this process.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I was trying to do my best to help you. And what 3 months. And yeah, thank you very much to you as well, like for your dedication. You three showed up at almost every meeting. Like it was a rule. Monday and Thursdays we are meeting and we are working together. So it is a really great experience. And it's
I would just add that besides what Ted and Gigi said, you provided us with great confidence. We kind of know you had our backs, and sometimes even you didn't need to help us. You would just listen up, and the idea would for solution would just sparks from somewhere. After me trying to consolidate my problem, and I always felt, safe that I can skip one obstacle for now and work on something that is fluent for now, and I can come back to it, knowing that there is a meeting with you and guys, and it will eventually break through. And that's a great feeling to have in such struggle.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing this. And we're gonna stay connected definitely, guys, through the rest of the period. And yeah, thank you very much for presenting.
Thank you for the opportunity.
It was a great experience. Okay, so for everyone, I have a couple of more slides, and they're quite important for people who are interested in what's coming next. So we are preparing the first public batch to start in January 2024. And till then, the next steps are as following. The application process will start in November 2023. And we're going to kickstart the batch 1 in January 2024. And in 3 months, in April, you might be one of the people who will present the demo at the demo day for the first public batch of a notJust Accelerator. What you can do now is join the waitlist at www.notjust.dev/accelerator. And I'm going to make sure to let you know at least 1 week before the application opens, so you have a time to apply, because we are going to select the projects based on who comes first and who is selected. Of course, we're going to give priority to people who come first, and we're going to select only 10 projects, because that's the capacity at which we can help you the most in the process of building and launching the application. More information about the actual accelerator will come soon. But yeah, this is specifically for people who are interested in building and launching a mobile focused startup. So if you are one of them, make sure to sign up for the waitlist, and I'm going to keep you updated with all the details. In the end, I really want to say thank you very much for everyone who were part of the demo day. Not sure if everyone is here. Thank you, the guys that presented. Thank you, Roy, very much for your help, for questions, advice. Really appreciate that. Daniel, thank you very much. And we talk quite often. Yeah, is there anything you guys want to share, or maybe we have some questions in the chat? Yeah, Daniel, please.
I want to say one thing. I've noticed there were a couple of people in the chat who wanted to participate right now. And what I want to tell you guys, read your emails more carefully, because we send a lot of stuff there. And if you just read it, you can sign up.
Yeah, we had the internal demo day yesterday in our Discord community. And as I said, like 0 applications. And I think that's yeah.
Vadim, maybe they don't know where can they subscribe to the newsletter. Maybe you can help them.
Yeah, everything on notjust.dev, they will find them. Everything there. All right, guys, thank you very much. And yeah, let's continue our discussion on Discord. What do you say?
Amazing.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Have a nice day. Bye.